gentlemen, Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
His name is Ryan.
And the greatest driver.
His name is Corey.
They're the best. I love it. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Brown Snow Street, just coming up right here on your right. Now, this is a rather famous set. It's been featured in one of Universal's 10, count 'em, 10 Best Picture Oscar winners. The Sting, starring Paul Newman and Robert Redford. Also featured in Bruce Almighty, Jim Carrey's highest grossing film of his career. And a perennial holiday favorite of mine, and I'm guessing yours as well, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. That is indeed where Kevin McAllister goes to find his aunt and uncle's brownstone apartment being renovated and abandoned, and where he gets into, we'll say, suspiciously similar hijinks as the first Home Alone movie. Look, is Home Alone 2 Lost in New York a California from Back to the Future parts 1 and 2? On your left, folks, that is indeed the clock tower where in 1955, Doc Brown helped Marty McFly harness the power of a lightning bolt to help send him back to his future of 1985. A truly classic film, a perfect trilogy. If you've never seen Back to the Future, folks, get off the tram. Look out for these featured extras, folks, who never got the memo about filming having wrapped nearly 30 years ago, and they're a little more than disappointed about not getting some of those points at the back end of a rather high-grossing film like the first Jurassic Park. You know how actors can be very touchy. But you may have noticed the camouflage vehicles on the left-hand side of the tram. Those are called the Mobile Labs. Now, we dangled one of those off of one of our parking structures in the front lot to achieve one of the more harrowing sequences from the sequel of Jurassic Park, The Lost World. Great day. You folks picked a great day to come here. I mean, from where I'm sitting, I'm telling you, there is not a cloud in the sky. Although, as I say that, I hear thunder and I'm now seeing lightning flashes. And for any Fleetwood Mac fans on the tour, you know, Stevie Nicks has always said, thunder only happens when it's raining. Oh my gosh. She was totally right about that. Does that mean players only love you when they're playing? Probably. At any rate, I think if we just play it cool, chill out, everything will be just fine, because I do not think it will get any worse than this. Okay, and even if it did get worse than this, I really don't think Tram Cars 2 or 3 have anything to worry about. For example, or por ejemplo, because we're in Old Mexico, if I were in Tram Cars 2 or 3, I wouldn't wish that I brought a poncho or a towel with me. You might be thinking that, we're not, because it will not get any worse than, oh, never mind, que lástima. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. Stevie Nicks, she knows. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our flash flood. That effect was created using thousands of gallons of recycled water, pumping collected in tanks at the top of the hill, sent rushing down for your enjoyment. And of course, that song was Dreams, written by Stevie Nicks, recorded by Fleetwood Mac, and performed by yours truly. Now, as we roll further here into Old Mexico, you may recognize this set on your left from the very beginning of the classic comedy, Three Amigos, starring Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, and Martin Short. But it was also used by singer-songwriter Stephanie Germanotta for her Judas music video. Oh, sorry, my bad. Lady Gaga. Big fan. Big fan. Now, folks, we are on the edge of glory, crossing the Rio Grande from Old Mexico into the Old West of 6 Points, Texas. Simply put, this isn't only one of the oldest and most historic areas of Universal, but all of Hollywood. Here's such classic stars as John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart, Clint Eastwood, Kirk Douglas, Robert Redford, and many more have sported their 6-shooters and spurs riding their little horsies to all the standoffs in front of the saloons of 6 Points, Texas. And in many ways, this place is the foundation for what would become the Universal Studios Tour, of which you were all illustrious participants. Because in the early days of our studio, our founder, Carl Lemley, would charge people 25 cents admission to the studio lot, and that could get you a box lunch and a seat on bleachers he set up all along the streets of 6 Points, where you could sit, eat your lunch, and watch movies being made right in front of your eyes. And because it was in the days before sound was recorded, people cheered the heroes, booed the villains, sometimes vice versa, if the villain was particularly cool or interesting. It certainly gave the actors a lot to work off of, as you can imagine. Really created a wonderfully carnival-esque atmosphere, not too dissimilar to the theme park above us today. Either way, once sound did enter the picture, we had to end that practice, but we continue in that tradition of giving you a little peek behind the curtain with the Universal Studios tour. And you can actually see Six Points, Texas, most recently and prominently in Quentin Tarantino's 9th film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Margot Robbie, and in his Best Supporting Actor Oscar win, Brad Pitt. Leo plays a washed-up Western TV started with inventing the horror movie genre with its slate of monsters like Dracula, Frankenstein, the Bride of Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Invisible Man, the Mummy, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Phantom of the Opera, Creature from the Black Lagoon. The list goes on and on. In this area of the lot, Little Europe features prominently into the history of those films. Our founder, Carl Lundley, he was a German immigrant. He got homesick. He wanted to build an area that reminded him of home, so he built Little Europe. Consequently, it became home to many an angry villager, sporting pitchforks, torches, chasing after creatures who, let's be honest, just wanted some love, acceptance, and for somebody to tell them that everything was good. Speaking of good, some of you might even recognize this as The Good Place.
You, Eleanor Shellstrom, architect.
Cool.
This location, I have never seen this.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
And here are those aforementioned angry villagers for context. A lot of productions shoot digitally nowadays, so to see a film stock camera is pretty cool and rare. So it looks like it's some kind of subway metro stop set. It says welcome to San Francisco. Maybe it's for BART, for any of your Northern California folks out there. Oh, they have crafty. Oh, there's muffins. I could go for a muffin. Whoa, hey, it's okay. Hey, this is California. We get tremors from time to time. Just chill out. Oh gosh! On second thought, freak out, folks. This is the big one. For the Amity Police Department, there's his boat. He called me before the tour and assured me that there were absolutely no sharks. Okay, that is a literal shark. Give me a second. George, get out of the water. There's a shark. Oh, this is not looking good for my friend George, folks. You know, he is such a nice guy. He and his wife just had a kid. You know, being a diver, and let's be honest, being a father, really takes a lot of goodness. There they are. I guess I just lost my friend George. But hey, we've all gained these barrels of gasoline. Cool. 27-year-old Steven Spielberg. I'm going to repeat that. He was 27 years old when he made Jaws, his second major studio picture, and on the first day of filming, the shark sunk to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. Things only got worse from there. They were filming on location in Martha's really lucrative ending, but here's Steven Spielberg and other members of the cast to tell you just how bad it got. We have John Milner's Yellow Deuce Coupe. We got Mr. Bean's Lime Green Mini Cooper. We got a double-decker bus from Austin Powers. Dominic Toretto's Black Dodge Charger. The Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo. A few more souped-up rods from the Fast and Furious franchise. Capping it off, a cream-colored coupe belonging to an ill-fated guest of a mom-and-pop was Psycho. Now, there's actually somebody I want you to meet. He's a friend of mine. He's kind of shy. He actually owns that motel. His son. He apparently got this really good one on Prime Day. I guess it's from Cutco or something. Oh, hey, look at that! Ooh, great knife, Norman. Super cool knife. Super sharp. Don't kill anybody with it, okay? You gotta feel for the guy. He just... Now, on your left, that is indeed a real Boeing 747 airplane, which was purchased at a cost of $60,000 to the production, but it cost $250,000 to ship it here, less than 100 miles away from an Air Force base in the Mojave Desert. Now, here's legendary production designer Rick Carter and Steven Spielberg to tell you a bit more about it.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
Again, to sit down and talk about the world. I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Okay, I'm closed.
And with that, we've reached the 15-minute home stretch of the tour, folks. So thank you once again for remaining seated with your arms and legs inside the tram at all times. Thus concludes the third and final time I am legally obligated to remind you of that. But you've been so nice in that regard. Tell you what, on us, that is no.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Planet, Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Juke Park. Over there, look into the winking room and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? But a little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not even considered live. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of the gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the beautiful hotspot. What's a bad miracle? You're about to find out.
Everything that they had up in Santa Clarita, but it is most of what the